Shows have you been in, and how is that going?
Well, my first year of shows was in November of 2019. That was the first completion of shows. Six. Not all big shows,
Right.
but some of them big, like Philadelphia Museum of Art, Smithsonian Craftware, and ACC Baltimore. I've
So you
done
just
shows.
jumped in?
Yeah, I thought the worst that can happen is somebody tells me no, and they tell me no via email. So big deal. It's not even like it had to be face to face. And I had a lot of people encouraging me. Claire Monsell,
Yeah.
you know, she said, "Do it, just do it,
Yeah.
and see what happens."
Go ahead.
The shows work differently than like Art from Home. I'm selling a lot with Art from Home.
Oh, that's right.
And that
That's
really
right.
is production mode.
Yeah.
Whereas the shows, it's a little more freedom. I can do one-of-a-kind things. I can focus on a line for a show and then focus on a different line for the next show. And I like that because it changes things up.
Yeah.
But Art from Home pays bills.
Really?
Yeah. So it's good to have them both. I had a bin and I was saving everything. And eventually the bin gets fuller and you think, oh, I have to do something with this. And then someone gives you a hard time because it's plastic.
Yeah.
And you think, I really have to do something with this.
Yeah.
So I took a class with Tracy Holmes. I jumped off to grinding fully baked colorful
Coffee
bits.
Coffee grinder.
Yeah. And then working that back into translucent, what can I do with that? Any bits that are larger that could become a pair of earrings or a collage piece onto a necklace, they became a whole line. So I was using everything but the dust at that point. But the reason that I chose to do this show with everything is recycled in some capacity. And so I thought I'll do all just recycled pieces with the idea that I think that polymer clay is almost a good ambassador for plastic itself. I think we vilify plastic, but the material isn't the problem. How we use the material is the problem. You know, a piece of jewelry that's more expensive that's supposed to be permanent sort of helps us get out of the mindset of one-use plastic. You know, I was looking at a $3,000 necklace from Ford and Forlano at Philadelphia and thinking, why do we take the same material and we make disposable plastic bags out of it when you could make a $3,000 necklace? You know, it's not the material, it's what we're doing.
Silver comes out of the ground,
Right.
and we count it as a precious metal. Oil comes out of the ground, and we make disposable plastic bags out of it. It doesn't make sense. They both should be precious because they both
Well,
come.
that's why I'm calling polymer clay it's a semi-precious material. Plastic is semi-precious, not disposable. I was at Ann Arbor in July, and a lady liked a necklace that I had, and it was a $175 necklace, and she said, I just can't bring myself to buy it because I can't compost it. I said, do you regularly compost $175 things? And she said, well, no. And she had a glass bead necklace on. I said, you can't compost your necklace. And she said, but I can recycle it. And I said, you can recycle my necklace too. She said, but it's plastic. It's what we're doing with plastic the rest of the time. You know, wrapping an avocado when it already has its own wrapper.
Right.
And things like that. That's irresponsible uses of something that you can also make a $3,000 necklace out of. You know, polymer clay is a good jumping off point to talk about how we're using materials. You know, if you ate, or like a fish ate a bunch of gold rings, that would be toxic to a fish as well, because that you know, they have other metals mixed in with the gold that would be toxic to that animal. So certainly if you filled a sea turtle's belly with gold, the sea turtle would die as well. So I think it's the one use and the disposable plastic that's the problem.
Not the material.
Not the material itself.
Okay.
Yeah. the more the concept gets pushed along, and
Right.
then the more people are being responsible for what they're
Well, and the
doing.
more, this is a medium I really love. I have loved it for years and years and years, and the more I can work in the medium I love.
Yeah.
But I'm just floored by what you've done. It's wonderful. You look at it and say, oh, well, of course that's an approach I should have taken, but it takes somebody to take that approach to give us the aha moment. Out on the belt sander, I've got curly cues.
Yeah.
From taking down. I did a vessel and it didn't work out right, so I just took it back down and I'm going to cover it again. And now I'm thinking, oh, I should have done something to save that,
I
right?
baked some of those bits, like from carving. I baked those right into 2 layers of translucent clay, so you can kind of see them through. And a lot of that works. The key is not too much dry material for the wet material.